Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Ain Hannani Binti Rahman. My student ID is 2022496-004 and I am from group CEEH2202B. Today I will be talking about the research upon ancient Greek Hellenic religion. When it comes to this ancient Greek Hellenic religion, most of the people often would have lots of questions in their mind. So here I am today answering some of these questions and doubts that are in your mind based on my personal research about this religion. Now, the first question is, what are the main beliefs in this religion? The worshippers believe that Zeus is the leader of the god. Since there are more than a few of God existed in this religion, they believe that out of all the gods, there must be a leader that rules the kingdom of the god and the goddess. Apart from that, they also believe that in the power of the oracles. This is where the oracle acts as the intermediaries between the mortal and the divine world, which can be explained in the way that they communicate with the god to ask upon their life fortune and etc. Not only that, they also believe in the afterlife. This is where the worshipper believes that the Hates are the god of the judgment that will rule and handle the afterlife of all human, whether they are worshippers or not. Last but not least, the worshipper also believe in the rituals and ceremonies are the other ways to communicate with their gods and goddess in a more pure form. With that, we know that there are more than one ways to communicate with the gods and the goddess in the religion itself based on what the worshipper believes. Moving on to the next question, how did this religion spread? This religion spread through colonization, cultural influence, Pan-Hellenic festival, trade and commerce, and last but not least, conquest Hellenization. As per reading throughout this religion journal and articles, as Greek established their colonies, they begin to brought in their religion along. These came through step by practicing the beliefs and hence worshipping. They believed that in this soft and practical approach would works very well on the people of the colonies. Next is through the Pan-Hellenic festival. Initially, this festival was to demonstrate their devotion in this religion and thus become a practice and culture between the countries. This leads into the spreading of this religion along while going on with the festival between the countries itself. Not only that, the ancient Greek has quite an insightful and interesting cultural influence then and even now, which makes us interested to study and read about it. Some even went into a deeper length of understanding and thus begin to worship the gods of this religion as it is very human and well related closely to ourselves as human, as per belief of this worshipper in this religion. Now, before I wrap up my presentation for today, I would like to move on to the last question of this presentation, which is, what are the obligation, the rules, and the restriction of this religion? Now, the rules and obligation of this ancient Greek Hellenic religion is, firstly, the believers are obligated to worship the gods. This type of obligation are very common in all religion that existed in this world. We could name any type of religion, and the first obligation when we are committed to one religion is that we need to worship the gods that exist in this religion, because it's a very common and thus it's a very prime things when we are doing or when we are worship something in a religion. Next, the believers are obligated to sacrifice an animal in ritual or worshiping ceremonies. This is to show their devotion in the religion and their devotion to the gods. To whenever we need to ask for a favor from God, we need to give something, we need to sacrifice something for them. So in this particular religion, they sacrifice animals in any ritual or worshiping ceremonies to show their devotion towards the God. Apart from that, each worshippers are obligated by the rules and morals and the ethical conduct of this religion. This is so that the ancient Greek would live and grow as an individual and live a peaceful life without any problem or miscommunication or any type of bad blood between the worshippers. This is because when the worshippers itself has a bad blood, thus the God itself will look down upon their worshippers because the god itself does not know what is going on with the worshippers, because this religion was supposed to be a peaceful and understanding and a very human religion. And thus, each worshippers are obligated by this moral and ethical conduct to live such a peaceful and show that this religion is a peaceful religion. Last but not least, the rules and obligation in this ancient Greek Hellenic religion is that the worshippers need to be pure or even purified before conducting any rituals or religious ceremonies. This is to show that each ceremonies, when we are worshiping the god, we are doing a rituals that devoting ourselves towards the god, we are communicating with the gods. So we need to be pure, or even when we are not pure, before we need to be purified before we start doing any rituals to communicate and worship our god. The restriction in this ancient Greek Hellenic religion is that the failure to fulfill the obligation in this religion are considered as a negative action, and thus is considered to be disrespectful towards the god and the religion itself. The next restriction that existed in this religion is that the believers or the worshippers are restricted to eat certain food at certain particular time. For example, the worshippers are restricted to eat beans during the festival going on. The festival I mean here is the Pan-Hellenic festival initially, but now whenever the festival going on, there's no restriction at all towards the believer or even people that are involved in the festival itself. Next, the restriction that exists in this religion is that the worshipper and the believer are restricted from entering the sacred area without any permission. This is because knowing that we are going or stepping into a sacred area, sacred place, is that means we are going to do a rituals into worshiping the god or even doing as worshiping ceremonies. So to enter and conducting those activities, we need to have the permission from people that are taking care of the altars or the shrines or even the temples before entering such a sacred place. Last but not least, subsequent into the restriction that exists in this religion, which is ancient Greek Hellenic religion, is that the worshipper or the believer or even people who do not worship this religion, the god of this religion, are not supposed to interrupt any religion ceremonies. This is because by this action it is considered disrespectful towards the religion, the worshippers, and the gods itself. And with that, I conclude my presentation of my research upon the ancient Greek Hellenic religion. Thank you very much.